2022 is the year of not carrying conversations on our backs because
Exactly.
we do that. If our listeners
Yes.
know anything, me and Liz are talkers, and I'm happy to talk.
Hi
Hello,
guys.
everybody.
Welcome back to Like the Queens.
I am so happy to be filming this episode right now. I've been stuck in my apartment, not able to talk to anybody.
I
So
understand.
I know you've been stuck in a place longer than I have.
We had COVID here, and then as soon as I get out of quarantine, we get a snowstorm, and so now we're stuck in our house again.
Yeah. Is
I'm
everybody in your
so
house
happy.
COVID free now, though?
Yeah, everyone's clear.
That's good.
We're all good. Yeah, John Paul
That
was the
is
last
good.
one to get it, and he could go back to school Tuesday, but he's cleared. He's all good. But he's not going back to
Sweet.
school Tuesday because of snow.
That's crazy. And
I
I
know.
have just seen snow for the first time 2 days ago, everybody.
That's crazy. What did you think about it?
I am in love with it. Maybe it's just
Isn't
because
it
I'm like
great?
new to it, but I love it. All I want to do
No,
is
I love
just
snow.
go jump in the big snow pile outside of my apartment.
Yep.
So who knows? I might do that. I stepped out
You
on my
should go do
balcony this
that.
morning and like stuck my hand out to all the snowfall. Um, I love it. I love the snow so far. I haven't had to drive in it, and I haven't had to
Mhm.
like scrape it off anybody's car yet, though. So maybe my opinion will be changed later on in that process. But for now,
Do
I'm
you get
living for it.
a do you get a car up there?
No, we get like transportation provided when it's work
Okay.
related.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
Whoa. And also Victoria has a huge apartment. I'm so jealous.
I do. I don't know. This theater is spoiling their cast members. I have a two
Yeah.
bedroom apartment all to myself. It's very spacious. I mean, I'm sitting on the floor right now, but the living room is huge.
Yeah, I can
And then I have
tell.
two bedrooms, a whole bathroom.
Oh my
It's great.
gosh.
Laundry's in the apartment complex too, so I don't have to like
I don't have to go anywhere.
walk to another place. So 10 out of
I'm
10.
amazed. So
Yeah.
like I know you just got to New York, but do you have anything to tell me? Anything crazy?
Not really. I still haven't gotten my Bumble back, but it is in the process of happening. We've switched
Okay.
over to my email and we're slowly but surely making it happen. They're but it's happening. Anyway, guys, the Bumble coming back is happening, but I have been very active on Hinge, kind
Hmm.
of warming up to Hinge just because I've had no choice but to. And I guess the new area has brought me in some more likes. So chatting up a few guys here and there. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Cute.
We'll see. Nothing like too
Cute.
intense. I've been here for 2 days, so
Yeah.
maybe by next week we'll have some stories. But
The funny thing about your Bumble is our listeners don't know is I made a post on Instagram and I tagged them in it about Victoria being banned, and then they messaged us like right away as soon as I made the
right
post,
away.
and they were like, "We're Swiftie fans as well. Let us fix this for you."
Yeah.
And we're like,
So
"So this is the way to get things done. Post
this is
about
the way to
it,
get
tell
things
them."
done. I was like, wow, good thing we have this podcast. If not,
Yeah.
I'd still be Bumbleless.
And
So
now you're getting it back, which is
now,
great.
yeah, yeah, I'm very
Speaking of like
excited.
the dating apps and all, I'm a bad person. I kind of just like stopped talking to the people from OkCupid. I did go out with one guy but he
Okay.
was he was originally from Bumble, but like we t matched again on OkCupid. But like the
Mm-hmm.
guys were just like not holding a conversation. They were really boring me. So I'm just like I'm done
You
talking to you
can't.
guys.
2022 is the year of not carrying conversations on our backs because we
Exactly.
do that. If our listeners
Yes.
know anything, me and Liz are talkers, and I'm happy to talk. But like, I can't be carrying everything, every conversation we have, and
No,
that's how
it's
I feel.
ridiculous. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you're literally boring the heck out of me, and I don't know what else to possibly like talk to you about until you ask me out. It's getting like really repetitive, and
correct.
what are you doing? How is your day? Blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I do the same thing I house because I've been in COVID. But plan a date with me and
Exactly.
then we'll talk on the date.
Exactly. And it's like you don't want to ask all the hard-hitting questions over text because you're like, then we're
No.
gonna meet in person. And what if he can't talk in person? And then you have
Yeah,
nothing to talk about.
exactly.
I
Well,
understand.
luckily the guy, because I matched with him back in May, right before
Hmm.
Wisconsin, and we were had a date plan, then I had to cancel it. Then he asked me out again in November, but I couldn't because I was leaving again. We finally planned a time to meet,
Hmm.
and we met at a Starbucks because we live kind of far from each other, so we went to a different town Starbucks, like that was in the middle for us.
Okay.
Sorry. And he was already there sitting like by the time I got in, and I like expected him, like he had a water and like a granola bar he bought at the Starbucks. And so I thought like I'm kind of old fashioned, like y'all can take this how you want. But I am old fashioned in the sense where I do think the guy should pay on the first date. I've made that comment before. That's
Hmm.
just how I am. That's my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. And he didn't offer to buy me a coffee. And I sat down with him for a minute and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a coffee. And he goes, okay. And I'm like, I drove 50 minutes to have a coffee with you and you didn't offer to buy one?
And he had a granola bar.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did he,
And I'm
does
like,
he
no,
not like coffee?
no, he does. He's like, I just won't be able to sleep if I have it right now. So it's like 5 o'clock. Also, number one, it was 5 o'clock. Like, why didn't you want to go to dinner with me? And I guess
Yeah.
because he didn't want to spend any money to take me on a date. And if he has financial problems, like, I completely understand. Completely.
Yeah.
We could go like walk around a park or something, you know? We could do something that doesn't involve money. But the fact that I drove 50 minutes for a coffee and he couldn't spend $5 to buy me a coffee.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's so many other options. Like you guys could have literally found a street corner and like sat on a bench or something. Like it didn't have to
Yeah.
be something that he had to pay for you for.
Yeah. And also
Interesting.
the fact that it was almost an hour drive. I spent
Yeah.
more on gas than I did on coffee, and he couldn't
Yeah.
buy me. It just did not give me the best impression. Again, if he has financial problems, I understand. We should have just done something else if that was the case.
Right.
But he's also a fellow actor, and I've told you that. He's done a lot of like cool things. He's with a good agency here in North Carolina that I know. And he went to UNCSA. Do you know about that school?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the best acting
Yeah.
schools in the States. Like this guy has a lot going for him, and it was really nice to be able to connect with someone like on that level and be able to chat. And also, I
Hmm.
didn't tell you, but this guy was really cute. He was super cute.
Okay.
Like he had dark hair, he was tall, he had a great smile. Like he was a really good looking guy. Just not like the best first impression date when it comes to like how I want to be treated on a first date.
Yeah. I
But he
feel
was
that.
easy to talk. Yeah, he was easy to talk to. We sat there for 2 hours in this coffee shop talking. And also, what I found really interesting about him is he asked me a lot of questions about my ex and us breaking up, which
That is interesting.
yeah, I have no problem talking about that at all. But he's like, "Why'd you break up? Like
Yeah.
what happened?" And I was like, "Well, I'll be honest with you. Like, if you want, like, I'll tell you everything." And I did. And I don't think I've been on a date where a guy asked me that question.
I was about to say that's like very, I think a lot of people, it's just like, what's the word? It's just like common knowledge to not bring up the ex or previous relationships on a first date. Um,
Yeah. And like,
I
I
don't
have
think
no
it's that big of a
problem.
deal,
No, I have no
in my
problem talking
opinion.
about it. Like, a lot of guys will be like, "How'd you get on dating apps?" I'd be like, "Oh, my long-term relationship ended, and my friends actually created the profiles for me."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I saw the men they were picking out, and I said, "This is my turn now."
That's iconic
I'm
though.
taking over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there were some of the guys I'm like, I
I
love
understand.
my friends. I love my friends. But of course, we all have different taste in men.
I understand. I
Yeah,
understand. I have
yeah.
let other people hold my dating apps for a while, and then I go on and I'm like, interesting how I'm never gonna talk to this guy.
Yes,
Interesting how we matched, and that is
yeah.
completely not what I'm talking to.
I
Oh
completely
my gosh.
understand. But yeah, I would have to go back and like think about each date I've been on, but I don't think any guy has blatantly been like, "Why did you break up?"
Yeah,
hmm
I feel like that's kind of hot take, kind of a smart question to ask
It
because
is.
you find out like what in the person you're on a date with's eyes went wrong. You found out what they didn't like.
Yeah. And I told him the truth. I was like, there were things leading up to the breakup, and I told him
Hmm.
about like I was like, I have an autoimmune disease, and like there was like really scary things happening in my life at that moment with my disease that he wasn't there for.
Hmm.
And compared to like forgetting to text me or call me back during that time to like forgetting milk at the grocery store. I told him about that conversation. He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, that was something that happened like 2 months, a month before we broke up, and I wasn't able to get past that. I wasn't able to move on from that moment.
Yeah.
But ultimately broke us up was him meeting someone else and telling me he had feelings for someone else. And I told him the whole story. I'm like, if he wants to know, I'll tell him. I'm like, I don't know if that's bad that I gave him so much detail and all. Like, did I overshare? I don't really care if I overshare. I do all the time.
Yeah.
But is that something I should have done? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's an in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it depends. I'm 100% an oversharer as well. So I
Yeah.
feel like I would have ventured down like the same road. But I also don't feel like that was too much. Did it spark
Yeah.
new conversation with him?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he talked about his exes, a little exes.
Hmm.
I don't think this guy's had like a serious relationship in a long time. Like a girl he considered an ex was someone who he was like consistently sleeping with, but like not confirmed in a relationship with.
Mm.
So like a friends with benefits, I want to say. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, interesting. He's like, yeah, she got upset when I slept with someone else, but like we weren't in a committed relationship. And I'm like, yes. Like I agree, like you
Okay.
weren't in a
Yeah.
committed relationship, like you are allowed to see other people. But I
Hmm.
it also just didn't give me the best impression of him being like boyfriend material when
Yeah.
he's not one that normally wants to settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
like
that.
I would totally go out with him again. He
Hmm.
was great at conversation, he was funny, he was cute. Did I wish he paid? Yes. Uh, do I think he would be like my boyfriend? No, but I would go out with him again.
That's good. Nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a nice guy. I really like can't complain too much. Like just those two
Hmm.
little things. Yeah. And
That's
then
good.
I have a boy update about a guy I actually met in person and not on a
Okay.
dating app at all. And I'm actually like kind of really excited about him, even though we haven't even gone out or anything.
Okay.
So we went to one of my favorite restaurants in Denver. We don't go to that much because it's
Okay.
expensive. But like my mom took like me and my grandmother and like some of our friends who took care of us when my grandfather passed to like thank them for everything they did for our family. Like these people literally not only cooked or paid for dinner for my immediate family, but like my family that came in from Florida, from Tennessee, from Colorado, like my family from all over, oh, in Canada, like literally my family from all over the world that was here, they
Yeah.
paid and took care of everybody. And so, like, this was like a thank you dinner to all of them for taking care of our family during this time. And as soon as we walked in, literally, like, I haven't even sat at our table or anything, I saw one waiter and I was like, oh, he's cute. I hope he waits on us. He did.
And he waited on you.
He waited on
Okay.
us. And like I thought he looked familiar. And like I wasn't trying. I mean, like yeah, I guess I kind of was like trying to like figure out who he was, like because I
Yeah.
thought he was cute and all, but I also thought he was familiar. And so like it came to like dessert or whatever. And I was like, "Did you go to East or North Lincoln or like West Lincoln? Like you look really familiar." And he's like, "No, I'm from New Jersey." He's like, I just moved here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And Rosie was like, oh, Liz, maybe you ran into him when you were like up in New York or something. And then Sherry was like, oh, what do you do? Like, why are you here? And he goes, well, I was in law school. I finished a year of law school, started working at a law firm. And then he was like, I didn't want to pay that much money for law school up north. So now I'm in the South because I have a friend down here and I'm going to try to go back to law school with a school that's in the South, that's in North Carolina, South Carolina. And she's like, "Oh, a lawyer." And she's like, "How old are you?" This is Sherry at this point, and he's like 28, and she's like, "Liz, that's not bad. That's not bad." And she goes, "Are you single? Are you married?" And he's like, "Both of us." We're turning so red at this point because
I
he was
love this
asking.
though. I love it.
She was asking him all these questions right in front of me, like, "Oh, you single? You
Yeah.
married? No? Oh, Liz, honey, that's not." She's like, "That's not about age." Okay. And she's like, "Liz, are you listening?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, oh my God." I was so embarrassed, just laughing. And then, she was like, "Would you like her number?" Sherry said to him.
Oh,
And I like was barely like looking at him. I was just like dying laughing and I'm embarrassed that we
yeah.
all were laughing so hard. And he like looks at him, he's like that he did want my number. And so before we left, we wrote my name and number on the receipt. And we left at like I want to say like nine something, maybe eight, nine, pretty
Yeah.
late in the evening. And he texted me that night at like 11:30 when he got back to his apartment after work. And it was so sweet. And he was like, "Hey, Elizabeth, this is," well, I'm not gonna say his name. He goes, "I'm so sorry. I'm just now texting you. I just got home from work." Like he
Ugh,
was apologizing for waiting 2 hours to text me.
I was about to say, some guys make
Yeah.
you wait like a whole day.
And like he's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't text you sooner." He's like, "I just got back." And I'm like, and I'm like, "That's okay. Like you're good." And we've been talking like all day, every day since that moment. What's today?
That's good.
We went out Friday, so we've been messaging for like 3 straight days now.
That's a good thing. That's very positive.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's
When you
very
guys, do you guys have a date planned?
no. And I said to mom, I'm like, why hasn't he planned a date with me yet when he texts me so much? And she's like, I don't know, maybe he's just like trying to see if y'all mesh together, blah blah blah, like how y'all
Maybe.
talk. Yeah. But like my mom said, if we're still talking by like after next weekend when I come back, because I'm going dress shopping with Claire, I'm leaving Thursday, and I
Yeah.
won't be back till Monday. And so my mom's like, just give it some time. Like if you guys are still talking by next week, then you can ask him out.
That's
Mom's
what
like, you
I
need
would
to
say
calm
too.
down. Yeah. I'm very aggressive with my approach to men. And like I've tried making like he makes no flirty comments at all. Like it's just like strict conversation. He like said things before. What I'm trying to think. What was something he said? And I like would make a little flirty comment, like put a little winky face or something, and he just like completely avoids it. Like I think I can't find it. There's a lot of text messages. Like he texts me until like 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he likes me.
A night owl.
Yeah. He'd be like, "Yeah, I like to work out, blah blah blah." I remember, I think I was like, "Yeah, I can tell," with a winky face, and he just like completely avoided it and went straight around that.
Classic.
Little things like that. But yeah, I was wearing heels that night, and he was still taller than me, and he has like
Ugh.
big, strong arms.
Well, fingers crossed
And
about
he's
next week.
respectful.
And he's already approved by your family.
Yeah. And
So,
he tries like nothing, like no kind of flirting at all. Not even like you're cute, haha, just like
yeah. This is exciting. I
I'm
love
like,
that for you.
okay. I'm like, I need to tone it down because I will scare this boy away.
Any like meet cute that happens in person, I'm obsessed
Yeah,
with.
me
It
too.
already like you're already more excited about it because you
I
met him
am.
in person. Yeah, that's
I'm
how it
more
goes.
excited about him because he's someone I actually know that
Yeah,
well, I don't know him. I met him in person, but he's not like a rando from a dating app.
exactly. So you know he's real.
I know he's real, and I know he's cute.
Perfect.
And he has
That's a
big
fun
strong arms.
update.
Yeah.
There is one update that I know our listeners are probably dying to
Oh,
know.
I totally forgot.
And I'm also kind of dying to know too. We haven't talked about it. So,
I've
what
been
is
so
up with your
excited about
celebrity crush?
yeah, I've been so excited about this guy that I completely forgot about my celebrity crush. Um,
Guys.
I did message him a couple days ago, and just like any other fuckboy, he has not responded.
Mm,
So it goes to show you that celebrities are just like normal guys.
He really went
There's,
above and beyond with this one, though.
yeah. And like, I'm like, why would you message me consistently about going out on a date every time I mentioned it to you for a
Yeah,
year? And like, when the opportunity arises, like, you all of a sudden ghost me,
interesting.
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. But
It's okay.
throughout this process, he did respond,
He
and
did, yeah.
it was still like it was like a fun moment.
It is a fun moment. Like, no, we didn't go out, but I can still say, like, my celebrity crush was interested.
That's true. He at least
Yeah.
looked at your profile or something.
Yeah,
Because,
and like I'm in his messages, he's in mine. Like we can direct message each other. Like it's not a message request or anything, which
exactly.
is which is cool. Um, but I'm just like I don't know what changed his mind, or if he was busy, like he could at least say that. I don't
Yeah,
know why. Like he literally wasted his time just messaging me about going out for no reason.
it's true.
Hmm.
Classic. Classic celebrity, though.
Classic.
I'm not
Yeah.
even
And I'm like,
surprised.
you should be like dying to go out with me. Like, yeah, you're a celebrity, but I'm kind of really cool too.
I agree. I agree.
Thank
That's my
you.
attitude about my dating life as well.
Good.
So,
That should be the attitude. Like, yeah, this guy seems cool, whatever, but like, so are you.
exactly.
So
Hannah
are
Montana
you.
said it best. I might even be a rock star, and you don't know until you go out with me.
Exactly. That's hilarious. Like this uh waiter who I'm messaging,
Hmm.
he's gonna be a lawyer and I'm gonna be something. We haven't figured it out yet, but like we're both cool.
Exactly. I love that. Well, those are our weekly updates. That's all
Oh,
that happened this week.
I have like a
Oh,
weekly update that's not about men.
share it. My weekly update
I
wasn't
have
about men. I moved to a different state.
I have a job interview tomorrow that would be as a travel agent remotely, and if I get this job, I'm buying my van.
That's literally perfect. I interviewed uh, during COVID for a travel agent remote
Did
job.
you?
Hmm.
I
It
feel
went
like
really
that's
well.
something I feel like that's something you can do while also like auditioning and
Absolutely.
possibly like still keeping that job while working as an actor to
Yeah.
have two different incomes. And like that's my goal right now. And like last night I sat down with my dad and like we cleaned up my other resume, my non-theater resume, and
Yeah.
I went ahead and like sent it out to some people and I woke up this morning from an email saying that they were interested in me and they want to have a conference meeting and it's already set for tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck. I hope that interview goes well.
Thank you. I really hope I get a remote job because I will buy my van and I will live in my van.
I know you will. I literally know that's going to happen. I no question about
Thank
it.
you. Like, Victoria, this is one of my biggest dreams. Like,
Yes.
2022 was supposed to be the year that I was on my eat, pray, love shit and like traveling around Europe. But like, then, COVID happened again. And then I got some jobs that I'm waiting to hear from, which I'm still waiting to hear from this month,
Yeah,
acting jobs. And so I'm like, I have put my life on hold for my career. I don't want to put my like happiness on hold, like who I am as a person, because
exactly.
I try to separate my career and who I am as two different people. Because,
Hmm.
like, yes, I love acting and all, but like, that should not be my only source of happiness. And I need to do other things that make me happy. And this was supposed to be the year I do that. But so far, I've just been putting my career first, and I can't do that.
Okay, snaps to that whole statement. That was amazing.
Thank
Literally
you.
go off, live your life. Live
Yes.
while you're young. I agree.
Life is more than just your career, like whatever it is. It's like even though I'm a performer, like there's more to life than being that. There's more to life than being a photographer. There's more to life than being a business owner. You got to figure it out.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and I need to do that.
And there's no better time than the present. So
Thank you.
I love that.
So that's that. We're done.
Now that's the
Now
weekly
we're
recap.
done. Yeah, weekly
So,
recap.
yeah, lots of
I'm pulling
exciting
up.
things happening. And Liz
Yeah,
is pulling up our next Wisconsin story.
this is about Victoria and I, but Victoria didn't write about this day.
Yeah, again, for the second week in a row, I chose to not write about this day.
And
And
it's kind
this
of
is
an
kind of
iconic
shocking.
day. Yeah,
This is like truly one of the most important days. And like, I should
it
have written
is.
about it, but
It is.
didn't.
All right, alas, here we are. 7/17/21. What a day. We traveled to a venue in Chippewa Falls and we got a text from Joe when we were 5 minutes away that he didn't think we had a show happening. No tickets were sold. And we should just like say real quickly that this happened quite a bit.
Like, very often.
Or we have
More
less
times
than
than
six
not.
people. Yeah, it was kind of sad.
Yeah.
We showed up to a completely empty venue. We were pissed, but still went to our favorite candy store downtown. We returned. We love that place. We returned to Paradise Shores and did an impromptu performance outside. We had a good time and made decent tips. We let an audience member sing a duet with Madison and she killed it. I
She
forgot
did.
about that. She
She
did
did.
awesome and like we weren't expecting it at all.
No. She got up and sang it, and we were like,
Yep. After we packed everything up, Victoria and I drank free drinks from Jacob at the tiki bar. That was fun. We drove down to Fat Bob's, but saw no one was there, so we went back to Ted's next door. They had a fun live band and actually had a lot of people in there. There was a lot of younger men, but I think they all had girlfriends with them. Victoria and I were having a blast dancing while Jacob came to hang out with us. Not long later, a weird bearded man came up to me and told me his friend wanted to know if we could dance. We noticed these
mm,
weirdos were staring and watching us for a while. They also weren't afraid to point fingers at us. They were going like
yeah.
at the
Like,
bar.
no care in the world, full on
Yep.
pointing.
I told the bearded man his friend could have one dance because I felt bad for him. One of his friends on the dance floor was a really good dancer. I was hoping he would be good and fun to dance with, but no, it was like dancing with a cardboard cutout.
Everybody, I want you guys to know that I witnessed this happen. I witnessed this guy take Liz and truly stand there, as
Like,
solid as the stool behind me, and while Liz was trying to just like have a good time. It was so funny. It was
and
so
like his friend was literally lifting this other woman in the air and like spinning her,
yeah.
lifting her. And I'm like, where's my lift? Why am I just standing here staring at your face?
Yes.
It was awful. He barely knew how to hold my hand while dancing. And I think I was taller than him, so it was extremely awkward. The first thing he did when he grabbed me was whisper in my ear, I know you're not from here. Girls around here don't look like you.
I forgot about it, but it's all coming back to me now.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
forgot about this. I was like, oh. I said, I was uncomfy.
Understandably.
I told him no, that I was from North Carolina. Everyone loves the fact that I'm a Carolina girl. I kept giving Victoria the help me look and mouthed it to her while dancing with him.
It's
She
true.
saved me and trolled me into her like a true great friend she is, so we
Ugh.
could dance together. The guy continued to stare at me the rest of the night. Jacob ended up leaving, so Victoria and I decided to go sit at the bar and drink some water for a little bit. Enter weirdo number 3 of the night.
Uh,
This dude gets uncomfortably close to my left side and starts hitting on us. He kept trying to touch my arm, so I told Victoria to put her arm around mine so he would stop touching me.
and I did. I want to take a moment and notice how she said hitting on us. He went full throttle for the both
Full
of us
throttle. Yep.
immediately. He was like, I don't care. And he did shoot a
Yep.
shot for both of us in
It
that
was
moment.
extremely weird
It
and
was so
uncomfortable.
odd.
Yep. He awkwardly shook our hands when we introduced ourselves while he proceeded to Well, he proceeded to stick his tongue out, attempted to sexually pull it back in while biting his lip at the same time, calling us gorgeous. Would you like to reenact this?
I think we both should reenact it at the same time.
Okay, okay.
This is
Ready?
what this man did to us all night.
You guys are gorgeous.
You guys are so gorgeous. Oh my God. That is how it was. He said that like every other word, and he just kept making that motion. It was hilarious.
I could not control myself any longer. I started dying laughing, trying not to pee myself, and so did Victoria.
We were straight up laughing in this man's face. It was
were.
so funny. It was so funny.
I feel bad for laughing in his face, but he had no idea what he looked like.
No, he didn't. We should also mention that this guy was wasted. Like, he was drunk.
Completely.
Very drunk.
He asked what was so funny, and we told him it was the face he made. He didn't know what face he made, so of course we had to reenact it for him. I forgot we did that.
Oh, brutal.
We are so mean. We straight up looked this man in the eye and made fun of him.
No shame.
Please.
No shame.
Oh my gosh. He then grabbed Victoria's hand and randomly asked her, "Do you want to have a baby?"
Yes. I can say that this is the first time at a bar a man has asked me to have a baby. Just right then and there.
I hope it's your last, too. I was done for at this point, and I could not control myself at all. I thought I was going to pee at that point from laughing so hard. This man then ordered us shots of Fireball. I could barely get mine down from trying not to spew from laughing. I'm choking, just laughing, thinking about this night.
Me too.
This guy still did not understand how weird he was being. He also randomly told us he was Spanish, and I was like, "Oh, you're from Spain? That's so cool." He said, "No, I'm from Mexico." I said, "Oh, then you're not Spanish, you're Hispanic." This boy did not understand that just because you spoke Spanish did not mean you were Spanish. He learned a cultural lesson that night.
Oh my gosh.
We ended up going back on the dance floor to get away from him. This fun girl came up to me and we started shaking our butts together. I vaguely remember that, but
I don't know who it was, but
me
I
either.
love that.
I love girls who aren't afraid to make friends with other women and hype them up. One of her guy friends started dancing with us too, and he was doing some weird one-legged hop. I remember him. He was going like, blast though, and not a creep. We went back to the bar to drink more water, and the weird guy who wanted to dance with me and a friend sat next to Victoria. His friend tried buying us drinks, but the bartender could tell we were uncomfortable and told him we were drinking water. Girls help girls. After he continued trying to get Victoria's number, we were able to slip away and leave. When we got back to the hotel, Victoria started opening the car door, but I told her to shut it and lock it because two trucks pulled in shortly after us. They drove around the parking lot, then left. It was really creepy. I don't know if they were the weirdos from the bar or what, but I had a bad feeling.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Me too, until right then.
Yeah.
I pulled back into a parking spot, turned my lights off, and I was like about to get out. And Liz was like, "Get back in the car." And I was like,
I said, "Shut that door right now."
And there was two cars. There was a truck and then there was a normal car, and they both had their lights on, like right across from us. And we were like,
Yeah.
it was creepy.
And it was probably like 1, 2 in the morning as well.
Yeah.
And so and there was only one bar down the street right there.
Correct.
So like they had to have come from Ted's, and they most likely like knew where we were going. And they didn't park either. They just pulled in like shortly after we did and then left.
Correct.
Like that.
That was weird. I forgot about that happening.
Yeah. They were totally trying to I don't know, pick us up, kidnap us, something along those lines.
And Liz was not having it. Liz said not today.
I said my spidey senses are tingling.
Thank goodness, because I was about to get
Yeah.
out and just happily stroll to our room. So.
And I was like, we are about to be thrown in the back of their pickup truck.
That was a good night,
was a
despite
good night.
that ending. Like, it was fun, and
It
we
was
laughed.
so fun.
That guy was so funny.
And like he was being dead serious. Like I hope he's worked on his game since that moment. But like I could not control myself from laughing in his face.
Yeah, because like every time he was like, "Why are you guys laughing?
Yeah, he was so serious.
Why are you
Like,
guys laughing?" And we were like, "You are so, that is weird." And he was like,
Yeah.
"No, it's not weird. It's not
not
weird.
weird at all.
Do you want to have a baby?"
He truly would make you his baby mama. And I said no.
Liz was like, "Get your hand out of her face."
Did he try at one point like kissing one of us?
He kissed my hand. I don't know if he kissed yours.
Oh yeah, he kissed your hand, then he went in for mine, and I said,
Yeah, Liz was like, "Don't touch me."
I'm so bad.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I didn't know that he was gonna like kiss my hand, but then he
Yeah,
did,
I had
and
a
Liz was like,
warning after
"No."
after watching what he did to you. I was like,
Yeah.
you can look at my hand, don't kiss it.
It's pretty. Nails are done. Thank you.
Nails are done. Well, you guys, that was our stories of the week.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
We're so happy to just vent about our weeks and tell you about creepy men in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for next week to find out if I plan a date with Cute Waiter, and if my celebrity crush ever does decide to message me back.
There you go. Stay tuned for next week to see if I meet anybody when I'm out of quarantine in this apartment all by myself.
You should. I really hope you go out and meet someone.
Me
Go on
too.
a date.
Me too. And I don't have a car with me, so now the guy has to come pick me up.
Yeah,
And like I have to
be
be treated
careful.
right.
Do you have pepper spray? Victoria, go on Amazon right now and order pepper spray.
I promise I will order some pepper spray.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that promise.
I won't let you down.
Okay. And like, I don't know, maybe if you want a taser as well, I have 2 tasers and pepper spray.
Gotta be safe.
You gotta be safe out there. Yes, there's lots of weirdos. I don't want you to get kidnapped.
Thank you.
Then
Me
this
either.
podcast will become Finding Victoria. Finding the Queen, the missing
Oh my
queen.
gosh. And we're not going to do that to you guys just yet.
No.
So don't worry.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, I was FaceTiming Emily. This was like a couple weeks ago, and I was telling her some of like the crazy things I've done recently. And she goes, Elizabeth, I have one thing. Like, there's a chance you're going to get kidnapped or killed or something. But if that happens, I know you went out smiling about it. Because I know you were having a good time and have no regrets.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it'll become a story.
You're right.
A bad one, but it's a story.
I love that.
Thank you.
She's right.
Well, with all of that being said, like, rate, review, subscribe, look at our Instagram and follow it and see where I tagged Bumble, which made them come help Victoria.
Please.
And all of that.
And tune in next week.
Yeah. I'm going to go dye my hair, but I'm Elizabeth.
I'm not going to go dye my hair. And I'm Victoria. Like the queens.